welcome back to my channel. My name is Jodie, and in this video I'm going to do part 2 of the video that I did where I basically talked about the movies that I watched that were recommended by you guys, so members of the YouTube kind of movie community. So in the last video I talked about 4 different movies that I that were basically kind of recommended or kind of discussed here on YouTube by four channels that I follow here on YouTube, and just 4 fantastic channels. So I'm going to do the same in this video. I'm going to talk about 4 more movies that were talked about by you guys, by channels here on YouTube. And then I'm also going to do just some shout outs as well, some just kind of general shout outs, because I did the first part of this video when I reached 200 subscribers. So I kind of just wanted to I guess just acknowledge and give a shout out to some channels that have just been incredible and really supportive since I started my YouTube channel. So I definitely think I watched like a varied selection of movies for this second part of this video. So definitely some movies that are just totally kind of different from each other, and kind of that's what I wanted to do, just kind of pick some movies that were yeah, a little bit different, and ones that a couple that were a little bit out of my comfort zone, and then a couple that have kind of been on my radar for a long time, but I guess I needed the impetus to sort of just actually go and watch them and finally pull the trigger and kind of get them on physical media and then watch them. So yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna start by getting into the first recommendation, and this one was yeah, this was an absolutely fantastic film, and it was kind of one that I had heard of before, but I didn't necessarily, kind of wasn't necessarily sure if it was going to be a movie that I would enjoy. So yeah, this movie was it was discussed a couple of weeks ago now, I think, by Roy's channel, Blue Roy Movies. So a huge shout out to Roy for talking about this movie, and kind of for yeah, for putting me onto it basically, because yeah, I enjoyed this one so much, and it's this one, Runaway Train. So yeah, this was absolutely fantastic. Now I think Roy actually he was actually talking about the Arrow version, so that was the version that he watched, but I just wasn't able to kind of come across an Arrow version that was kind of affordable. I'm fairly sure it's out of print, so any of the ones that I found were secondhand, but they were quite pricey. So I picked this one up off the German Amazon. It was cheap as chips, so you just cannot go wrong with the German Amazon. It's just great for finding ones that are sometimes a little bit harder to kind of get on the UK Amazon. So yeah, I think pretty much everyone who's probably following me probably does follow Roy's channel. So I definitely have to give Roy a huge shout out, just firstly because I think he was my 100th subscriber on my channel. So thank you so much for getting me up to that milestone. But yeah, Roy has just an absolutely fantastic channel, and he just has a fantastic way of kind of discussing the movies that he watches. He usually does like a weekly watches video, and then kind of weekly pickups and that kind of thing. And yeah, he just has like a fantastic kind of broad taste in films, and like a lot of the ones that he discusses every week are really varied, and I always find myself kind of finding films that I either hadn't heard of, or maybe ones I didn't know too much about, that he kind of really ends up putting me onto them. So yeah, a fantastic channel, really fantastic kind of depth of knowledge of films, and just a really fantastic way of discussing them. And you know, he just has a great sense of humor as well, which I just think is fantastic. So yeah, as I said, a huge thank you to Roy for being my 100th subscriber on YouTube, but just also for all of the ongoing kind of encouragement and support, and the chats and everything in the comments has just been fantastic. So I've just been really enjoying all of Roy's content, and yeah, it just to be really enjoying someone's content, and then to kind of get to engage with them on yours as well, it's just been so nice, and it's made me feel so welcome on YouTube since I started. So yeah, a massive shout out to Roy, and yeah, so thank you as well for obviously putting me onto this movie, Runaway Train. So yeah, Runaway Train, what a fantastic watch, and just what an entertaining ride this was. For anyone who hasn't seen this film, it's essentially a prison escape film, but it's like very kind of high adrenaline prison escape film. So it basically centers on this maximum security prison in Alaska. So like these are kind of the kind of the worst of the worst kind of criminals. And in the movie, the character who is played by Jon Voight, who is just brilliant by the way in this film, as he always is. So the character played by Jon Voight in this, he is kind of like, I don't know, he's sort of like this kind of idol kind of character in the jail, and he has like a lot of the other inmates kind of look up to him and think that he's just this fantastic guy, and that, you know, he's like a proper kind of hard man. And so there's kind of essentially like kind of an uprising in the prison, and he kind of sees this as like his chance to escape. I think he had tried to escape a couple more times, and then when he escapes, the character then played by Eric Roberts, is it Eric Roberts? Yeah, Eric Roberts. He also escapes with him, and so they escape the prison. There's some very kind of interesting scenes of them going through like the sewers and everything to try and get out of the jail, and then kind of when they get out, then they decide to get on this basically on this freight train to to kind of lead them to their freedom. But it does not go to plan. As you can tell by the title, the basically the conductor of the train has a heart attack, and he dies, and so the train is kind of left just sort of speeding off into oblivion. So yeah, I kind of don't want to like spoil it now, but you can probably kind of guess that a lot of it, the rest of it then is them, I guess, trying to survive and trying to kind of come up with a plan as to what to do about it. But yeah, I have to say this was such an entertaining watch. Like, it was just one of these kind of films that you can put on, and then for whatever the runtime is, it is 111 minutes. So for the whole 111-minute run, like, you're just literally entertained from start to finish, and you just cannot take your eyes off the screen. Yeah, it is just so entertaining. I just absolutely loved as well the setting of this. Obviously with it being set in Alaska, like, it's very icy, very cold, snowy, all that kind of thing. So if you like films kind of set in kind of cold climates and stuff like that, I think this is just such a stunning film. And it's just literally sort of relentless and just how entertaining it is. So massive kind of recommendation from me as well to the of this film. This one, it was based on a screenplay by Akira Kurosawa, which is quite interesting if he's a filmmaker that you like. And then one of the other people that wrote the kind of actual screenplay for it was Edward Bunker, who he wrote the book that Straight Time was based off. So and he's done like a lot of other kind of really good films as well, kind of written the scripts for some other really good films as well over the years. So yeah, very good film, really enjoyable, definitely one I just know that in the future that I can just kind of come back to if I'm looking for something just high octane, very entertaining, and yeah, just something just to keep you, like, literally kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. Runaway Train, definitely worth a watch. So again, a huge shout out to Roy for talking about this one in his video. I would love to get the Arrow version of this. I just think it would be just such a nice addition to my Arrow collection, so definitely one I'm going to keep an eye out for. But for now, I'm happy to have this copy from German Amazon. But yeah, definitely one I'd like to get into my collection at some point in the future. But yeah, the first movie, Runaway Train, absolutely fantastic. So the next film I'm going to talk about is just a completely different film, just in a totally different vein. So this one was recommended by Ollie from Ollie Loves Films, and I think, I just can't remember which video he talked about this in. I think it could have been like maybe underrated biopics or underrated British films or something like that, maybe. I'll definitely try and find the video that he talked about this, and maybe link it down below, because there was some other really good picks in that video as well. But this, I just picked this one specifically because it was just probably something that's a little bit not necessarily out of my comfort zone, but just one that for me, I did not expect to like it. It was one that I kind of hadn't intended on ever watching, but when Ollie was talking about it, he had, you know, high praise for this one, so I said I would, you know, kind of just give it a go and see what I thought. And I have to say, I absolutely loved this film. And then the film in question is this one, My Week with Marilyn. Oh my god, what a film. So fantastic. So yeah, a huge thank you to Ollie for recommending this one. So firstly, just to give a huge shout out to Ollie and Ollie's channel, Ollie Loves Films. Yeah, just another absolutely fantastic creator here on YouTube, and just does a vast array of fantastic videos just showing a lot of different films, and it has a really broad interest and a really kind of great knowledge of films, especially for someone so young. I think Ollie's only in his like early 20s, but does, you know, has a fantastic knowledge of both film and TV, and always just comes up with some fantastic recommendations. So definitely, again, I think Ollie is probably if you're watching this video, maybe Ollie is already a creator that you already follow, but I would definitely highly recommend his videos where he kind of picks like different genres and you know, just different categories, and then talks about recommendations in that category, and always comes out with some really interesting ones, and ones I always have to kind of keep note of, because some ones that I haven't seen and would really yeah, would really like to kind of get around to seeing. So yeah, absolutely fantastic creator. And then Ollie also does the Monday night live streams, the live stream with the loons, and has invited me on a few times as well, and it's just been such a pleasure to be, firstly, just to be invited, just to be thought of is fantastic, but yeah, just the live streams themselves are just so much fun, and they always cover such a, again, a wide kind of variety of topics, and you know, interesting kind of film discussion and collection discussion as well. So it's just been such a privilege to be asked to go on and to talk to Ollie, and then also some of the other kind of the other channels that go on the live streams as well. So it's just so fantastic, and it's just lovely to have those ongoing kind of discussions like every week, the live streams every week, and just kind of keeping like a good kind of rapport with all of the community going, and I just think that's so invaluable. So yeah, a huge shout out to Ollie's channel. Yeah, so as I said, the movie that I picked that was recommended by Ollie was this one, My Week with Marilyn, and again, yeah, it was just not a film that I ever really anticipated ever kind of getting around to be honest. Marilyn Monroe is not an actress or like a figure in film that I've ever been massively kind of drawn to. I've not I don't really think I've seen many of her films, and I know she's very kind of well known as like a kind of like a fashion symbol as well, like a fashion icon, and you know, like a lot of her kind of quotes and everything are, you know, you can kind of find them on pictures and posters and that kind of thing. So she's a very kind of iconic character or figure, I should say. But to be honest, I've never been massively interested in her life and her career, but when I finally watched this film, to be honest, I did find myself absolutely fascinated, and I find that this film was definitely a very interesting window into the person that she was. And Michelle Williams plays Marilyn Monroe in this film, and like Michelle Williams is an actress that I love. Like, I grew up watching Dawson's Creek, and I still watch it to this day. It's like a very kind of comforting show to me because I've just watched it since I was so young. So I kind of didn't think that I would be able to like accept her as Marilyn Monroe, to be honest, but you know, after the first few minutes I was just completely sold. She just does such a fantastic job of bringing the character to life, and she really does like kind of embody a lot of kind of who Marilyn Monroe was, both, and she plays both sides of Marilyn Monroe really well. And by both sides I kind of mean the kind of the very extroverted sort of sex symbol, very out there kind of character that she played, the actress, but also the very troubled kind of person that she was in her own personal life, and the kind of anxiety and the struggles and everything that she went through. So I thought both sides of Marilyn Monroe were played really beautifully by Michelle Williams. So essentially the film takes place over the course of a week, and Marilyn Monroe is in the UK making a film with Laurence Olivier, and Laurence Olivier is played by Kenneth Branagh, and she's there doing a film called, I think it's called The Prince and the Showgirl. So it's kind of very interesting because just it kind of shows the differences between the kind of American actors and kind of the American kind of, you know, the method kind of system and everything like that, and then also the kind of more theatrical sort of like the RADA kind of trained actors of the UK and England. And it just shows how those two kind of worlds collide, with Marilyn Monroe kind of starring, a big American actress starring in like a British film. So that's really, really interesting. But I think the kind of crux of the film really is the character played by Eddie Redmayne, and he basically starts working as an assistant on the film, but he kind of slowly becomes Marilyn Monroe's like confidant, and he just forms like a really, really interesting bond with Marilyn Monroe. You know, they kind of do a lot of, she kind of rings him in the middle of the night and he ends up going to her house, and they kind of go out on day trips and, you know, do all this kind of thing. And kind of through him and his interactions with her, then we kind of get like a glimpse into her life and everything that she's going through with her marriage and everything like that. And it's really, really interesting. And I just think everything about the film is done really well. The performances are fantastic. Just the setting, everything, the pacing of the film is really great. Really, really was like surprised at how much I enjoyed this film. So I would definitely say, if you're a Marilyn Monroe fan, or if you're just a fan of that kind of time, you know, that era of filmmaking, kind of like the, you know, like the 50s, and I guess interested in the differences between the two styles of acting as well, in the American and then the kind of more British kind of theatrical kind of style. There's a lot here that's very, very interesting. And then again, as I said, just kind of the just Marilyn Monroe as a symbol and as an icon. It was really, really interesting to kind of get an insight into that, and just how famous she was at the time. You really get to kind of comprehend just how kind of obsessed people were with Marilyn Monroe at the time, and just how much of a celebrity she was. I think it's hard to kind of comprehend just how famous she was, but I think this film does a really, really good job at portraying that. So I was totally impressed by this film. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and again, not one that I thought I would enjoy as much as I did, but I have to say, highest of recommendations from me as well. So again, a huge shout out to Ollie for talking about this one in his video. But yeah, definitely one that I would recommend as well, and definitely one that I know I will come back to. So yeah, My Week with Marilyn, absolutely fantastic film. So the next film I'm going to talk about was not necessarily a recommendation, but it was one that a particular channel here on YouTube had basically discussed as being their favourite film of all time, and had just spoken so highly of it ever since I followed their channel. So for that reason, I had to check this one out. And the channel in question it's Sam's channel, Sammy G's World of Cinema, and then the film in question is this one, Stalker, from Andrei Tarkovsky. So again, just to give a massive shout out to Sam's channel, Sammy G's World of Cinema. Just another absolutely fantastic channel here on YouTube, and just a really, really nice guy. Just such a sweet guy. And yeah, Sam has an absolutely fantastic broad kind of knowledge of films as well. And I think kind of the thing I love about Sam's channel the most is just his enthusiasm and just his absolute love of films, and that always just shines through so much in his videos, just how much he loves movies, how much he loves collecting, and then also just how much he loves music as well. I just love seeing him share like you know, his favorite kind of bands and vinyls and all that kind of thing. So just a really, really fantastic channel. And again, just another channel here on YouTube that has made me personally feel so welcome to the platform, and has just been so supportive. So ever since I kind of found Sam's channel and we kind of started you know, commenting on each other's videos and everything, Sam has just been so supportive and kind of shared my videos and is always there kind of with like just positive comments and kind of encouragement and feedback and support. And you know, kind of he's always kind of one of the people that, you know, when you kind of reach an achievement, he'll always kind of be there to cheer you on. So I just love that, and I just love the positivity and everything that he brings to YouTube. So yeah, again, a huge shout out to Sam's channel. And again, I'm sure everyone watching this probably does follow Sam's channel, but yeah, just another just absolute asset to YouTube, and just someone another person I'm just so happy to have met through this YouTube kind of journey so far. So a huge shout out to Sam. So yeah, so the movie that I chose kind of based on kind of Sam's channel to watch was of course this one, Stalker. So yeah, Sam had talked so highly of this film, and even his review and everything on Letterboxd to me, it was one I just knew I was going to have to check out really soon. I have been kind of intrigued to watch some Tarkovsky films for a little while, and to be honest, he's definitely a filmmaker that I think I was like a little bit intimidated to kind of start watching, and I kind of wasn't too sure kind of where to start. But the fact that Sam was so kind of praising this one so highly, I just thought, yeah, I'm gonna have to start here. So I picked up the Criterion version of this one, Stalker, and yeah, it is an absolutely stunning release. So to be honest, I really don't know where to start when I'm talking about this movie. This is not a film that, you know, you kind of just watch it once and then you kind of move on. It's kind of a film I think that you kind of need to watch and then really like take the time to digest and kind of think about and kind of research. So this one is set in Soviet era Russia, and as far as I know, this was like Tarkovsky's last the last film that he actually made in the Soviet Union, so before kind of starting to make films in the West. So essentially kind of really bring it down to its bare bones, this film, it centers around this main character who he works as like a freelance what they call a stalker. So basically what that means is he kind of guides people into this realm, this other kind of area known as the zone, and kind of from what I gather, what the zone is it is a kind of area that was once inhabited by aliens and had a lot of kind of otherworldly kind of phenomenon happen there, until a sort of disaster took over, and now it's sort of this kind of wasteland area. But it's thought that by going into the zone that you can fulfill your innermost desires. So this character of the stalker, he brings these other two characters, a professor and a writer, and he brings them into the zone, and they go on this sort of very kind of philosophical journey into this area, and we kind of get to discover start to discover what the zone is. So I watched this film last Monday. I had a day off for St. Patrick's Day, so it was like the perfect day. It was raining outside. It was the perfect day to just sit down and kind of give this film its due attention. So the film, it's 161 minutes, so I knew I would have to watch it at a time when I had the time, and you know, I could sit there and really try and take everything in. So yeah, unfortunately I just didn't enjoy this film at all, and I know this is not like necessarily supposed to be a piece of entertainment, and I understand that there's more to it. It's, you know, there's a lot of kind of philosophy, allegory, kind of religious, political stuff going on here, but I even kind of found it hard to, I guess, sort of latch onto a theory or latch onto a meaning that I could kind of run with and that made sense to me. I'm still, you know, I came up with like a few ideas of what I thought was going on, and then I was just like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So I really kind of felt very empty after watching this, and I kind of wanted to feel kind of very like moved, or feel very, at least sort of have some sort of resolution at the end, but I just felt, I don't know, maybe it's just a case that I just could not comprehend this film. Maybe it's just kind of maybe it's one I just need to watch again and try to understand, and maybe try to watch maybe with fresh eyes. And yeah, I really don't know. This was definitely this was a little bit of a mystery to me, to be honest. I think I would love someone else, I think, that loves this film. So Sam, and I know Tim loved this film as well when he watched it. So maybe one of you guys, or you know, anyone who kind of loves this and sees a particular meaning to it or a particular allegory that makes sense to them, please like just let me know how you read this film and kind of what it meant to you. Because to be quite honest, I think it's just because there wasn't a meaning that I could kind of run with, and so it just kind of didn't mean anything to me, and I just didn't feel anything from it. So I would absolutely love to be able to go back to this and maybe go into it with maybe an idea and try and follow it that way, but kind of just watching it kind of raw straight out the gate, yeah, I just couldn't kind of gel with it. I couldn't click with it. There was some scenes to me that I just as well, like I hate like being negative on it, but to me that felt very very monotonous. And like there was one scene that like the camera was on, it was like they were in this kind of field area and the camera was static for so long that I was like, is my Blu-ray player like frozen? And then I was like looking for my remote because I was like, oh, there's something wrong with my Blu-ray player, but no, there was just, the camera was not moving and no one was moving for like 5 minutes. And I just, yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just not the kind of film that I want to watch. Yeah, maybe it just could be one of these ones that's not for me, and that happens. Like there's films that people adore and they're not for me, or a film that I absolutely adore and someone else could watch it and just think, you know, just not get anything from it. So I think that is the beauty of film, is that we all have different tastes and everything like that. So it's very very possible that this is just not a film that I need to go back to, or I should go back to, or it's not a film that's ever going to mean anything to me. But I would love to, I guess, just for the time invested in it and the time that I've spent thinking about it after the fact, I would just love to hear some of your theories and some of your ideas as to what it means. And I'd love a theory, kind of, you know, the kind of Christ images in it. Yeah, what does that mean in relation to this film? Someone please just like educate me on this film, please. So yeah, as I said, anyone that has any theories, please leave them in the comments. And yeah, I'm sorry if I'm just like completely like stupid that I can't kind of understand this film, but yeah, no, this is just one that I just could not wrap my brain around. And yeah, I just didn't get on with it. I just found it a little bit too long-winded and kind of dragged out, and that I didn't feel like I got a payoff from it, and so therefore that's why it was a little bit disappointing. So yeah, have to be really honest, didn't get it. Not really for me, I don't think. But again, please enlighten me. Anyone in the comments that loves this film, please enlighten me and give me your thoughts, give me your 2 cents, and let me know, I guess let me know if I should keep going with Tarkovsky. I know Solaris is another film that is really highly rated of his, and it's one that I'm quite interested to see. But if it's kind of like this, I don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to kind of bother. But please let me know if there's maybe another Tarkovsky film that you would recommend that I check out, because I'm willing to give him another try. But yeah, Stalker, yeah, it was a really weird one. Still thinking about it, still probably going to be thinking about it into the future. But yeah, please let me know all your thoughts and everything in the comments. So yeah, again, a huge shout out to Sam's channel. Just an absolutely fantastic channel and a fantastic guy with absolutely fantastic taste in movies. So I'm definitely sure that even if Stalker is not for me, there'll definitely be more and more films that I'll be checking out based on Sam's recommendations. I already have Ikiru on my list of movies to watch as well, so hopefully I'll get around to that one as well very soon. But yeah, again, a massive shout out to Sam's channel, Sammy G's World of Cinema. So the final film I'm going to talk about in this video is a film that was discussed, I think it was a couple of weeks ago as well, by Marcus, X-File 2708. So again, a massive shout out to Marcus's channel. So the film that kind of caught my eye from Marcus's channel, and one that he really sold me on, was this one, Dead Man's Shoes. So it's a Shane Meadows directed film. Now unfortunately, I found this DVD twice in 2 different locations since Marcus talked about it, and both times there was no disc, which was really frustrating. So I found it in two like different kind of secondhand shops, and neither time was the disc in it. So I actually do not have a physical copy of this one to talk about. I ended up having to watch this one on YouTube because I really wanted to watch it, and I just was gonna watch it no matter what. So I definitely will continue to track down a copy of it. If I find it anywhere, I will definitely pick it up, but it's not like the most readily available online or anything at the moment, so hopefully I do find it out in the wild, but if not, I'm sure I will get it at some point online. But yeah, Dead Man's Shoes is the film I'm going to talk about. So yeah, a massive shout out to Marcus's channel, Xfile2708. Marcus, another absolutely fantastic creator here on YouTube, and just a channel that makes me laugh all the time. Every time I watch Marcus's videos, he always makes me laugh. He's just has such a great sense of humor, especially for a channel that kind of deals with very like macabre kind of videos, or very macabre kind of films. And he's really into his horror kind of thrillers, dark films, kind of gory films, video nasties, all that kind of thing. So but yeah, another great thing about Marcus's channel is he is in no way into any like the modern kind of snowflakery. He is into all of the old kind of classic comedy, classic humor, non-PC kind of sense of humor, which is right up my street as well. So you know, if you are someone that is very easily offended by certain types of humor, then probably a lot of what Marcus talks about won't be for you. But if you have a sense of humor and you just don't give a shit, then definitely check out Marcus's channel. Some great recommendations for both horror and both like very non-PC kind of comedies and films. So yeah, definitely recommend Marcus's channel, Xfile2708, and really looking forward to all of the new kind of mystery hauls that Marcus is going to be doing now over the next few weeks. So yeah, it's just providing some absolutely great content. So yeah, fantastic channel. So yeah, as I said, the film that I decided to watch based off Marcus's channel was Dead Man's Shoes. So this is a 2004 film directed by Shane Meadows, and starring Paddy Considine in the main role. And oh my god, like this film is like, this is as kind of real and raw a film as you're ever going to get. Kind of when I kind of went on Letterboxd to see kind of who had kind of watched this film, a lot of people I follow seem to have already watched this one, but it's one that just seems to have escaped me over the years for some reason. But oh my god, like what a film. So the film basically centers around this character called Richard, played by Paddy Considine, and his whole MO in this film is just to avenge the death of his brother. So his brother was mentally impaired, and he really kind of suffered at the hands of this kind of gang, and these kind of drug dealers, and they kind of really treated him badly and kind of nearly kind of tortured him at some points, and you know, they really kind of took advantage of him. So the Richard character then, like his whole kind of reason for living in this film is to kill the people that did this to his brother. And then what kind of results really is a series of like extremely violent kind of and very gritty kind of murders that feel so real. And I kind of won't give too much away, but kind of what we're kind of led to in the last act is really a very powerful scene about where we kind of see what actually did happen to the brother, and sort of why you know, why this character is kind of seeking vengeance in the first place. And literally that whole scene, I was like shocked, and I had like goosebumps all over my arms, and it just every second of it just felt so real. And I think the kind of music and everything over it, there's this sort of very like dirgy kind of liturgical style, kind of like church kind of music playing over it, that just, oh, I don't know, it just really got to me, but in the most fantastic way. Like, this is some seriously powerful filmmaking. Yeah, I know I have seen a few films from Shane Meadows before. I love This Is England, and I've seen a show that he did as well a few years ago called The Virtues with Stephen Graham, that I just absolutely loved. Again, just like a very kind of realistic sort of kind of depiction in that TV show as well. But yeah, Dead Man's Shoes, god, I was so impressed by this. And there was times where I kind of found it a little bit not kind of hard to look at, but I was just, it's just, again, I have to keep using the same word, it just feels so realistic. And you sort of feel like at times you're kind of watching like a documentary, or you just feel like you're literally in the room with these characters. And yeah, there's just some scenes that are so disturbing, but it is, yeah, it's such a powerful piece of filmmaking. So again, I know a lot of people have seen this one, Dead Man's Shoes, but yeah, I was so impressed by this, and definitely one that I will want to yeah, definitely one that I'll want to kind of pick up on physical media at some point. I don't know if I'm going to watch it again like straight away, but probably in another couple of years it will definitely be one that I will revisit, because yeah, it's just one of these ones that you can't look at it but you can't look away. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic, and a fantastic kind of British kind of staple film. Yeah, really like, I don't know, enjoyed is the right word, but I was absolutely blown away by this film. So yeah, Dead Man's Shoes, absolutely fantastic. So a huge thanks to Marcus for talking about this one and for singing its praises in one of his recent videos. So yeah, Dead Man's Shoes, if you have not seen it before, high recommendation again from me as well. So yeah, that is the last movie that I'm going to talk about in this video. So again, just a huge shout out to all of the channels that I talked about in this video today, and then the ones that I talked about in my last part. So I talked about Neil's movie channel, Stuart George's Home Movies, Tim Cole, and Ash Popcorn and Horror. So kind of just I guess just to round the video off, I did want to just give a couple more shout outs to some channels that have just been yeah, just really nice and really supportive, and have been kind of commenting and engaging with my videos. And it just, yeah, I'm just so grateful for the support on the channel, and for basically everyone who has subscribed. I'm just so grateful, so thank you so much. But I just wanted to just call out a couple more channels that again, that have been engaging and that have been very supportive of the channel. So we have Chris Hughes 168, It's Julie's Fun Little World 02, Mad Marty's Movie Reviews, James JT at the Movies, Spooner Mum, John Muff 1348, Real Talk with Ryan, Tom 180, Kiwi at the Movies, Forgotten World of Movies, Brian's Horror Corner, Scotty's Movies 6546, Blue Justin 4175, Dion Crawley, Steve for Films, Lisa Loves, Scott the Movie Critic, Outpost 3178, Kenny Jones 6369, Cult Cinema 83, Bumpers Movies, and Have Cheetah Will View, Patrick. So yeah, if I have forgotten anyone, I'm so sorry, but there were just a few that kind of have been commenting on my videos, and I'm just, again, I'm so grateful for all of the support. So thank you so much. So yeah, if you are still watching this video, thank you so much for watching, and please do leave a comment, some feedback, suggestion, any thoughts in the comments below, because I love just engaging with all the comments. So yeah, thank you so much, as I said, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.